What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Dude, how are you wearing a hoodie? Is it not hot as fuck out there?
Dude, I love the AC. I sit inside and I blast the AC.
Like you looking like you're in Chicago right now.
Yeah, no, I've just been
Yeah.
sitting here at the computer working all morning, so I just usually blast the AC like 68, 65, something like that, Throw a hoodie on, I'm good to go.
For everyone who doesn't know, they're based out of Dallas, Texas, most humid state next to Florida in the fucking world.
Oh yeah,
Well,
facts.
dude, happy Friday, man. Cheers. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hope you guys have been safe. Hope you and the rest of the band's been safe during this crazy fucking world we're living in right now.
Yeah, we've been making do. Hasn't been too hard on us. I'm sure there's people that have had it way harder.
This is very true, and hopefully this year can wrap up soon enough so we can get back to shows and you guys touring and fucking finally making more music and stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Got a big huge shout out for Negative Creep out in UK because they're bumping a Metallica shirt they sent. Thank you guys. They are awesome, custom made, and all the way across the pond, and they're cool dudes. So definitely
Let me see the graphic on that thing, dude. Nice.
dude, all custom bleach work. They even
That's
say
sick.
they ship it, and they even say like I have a special card like, hey, don't wash this, hand wash this cold, otherwise you're gonna mess up the bleach work if you wash it regularly. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's pretty dope. Like to give you
Oh,
that
yeah.
little tip, don't fuck up your shirt.
Yeah, for real.
So how's the band been holding up this year? You know, I know through in every band and everything. How you guys been doing?
Pretty good, man. I feel like we've I don't want to say like benefited, but it's been nice to like have kind of like everything just be paused in a way that like, we've been able to work on stuff without the pressure of like this has to be done like now. I mean, this is indefinite. Who knows how long any of this is going to last. So we've just kind of been like, well, I guess we're going to like, make the best of it and try and be like positive and just try and keep working as much as we can. So yeah, it's just been, business as usual, but maybe even more so our foot's on the pedal a little harder now. So
Have you guys been still jamming and practicing, or just like sending stuff digitally to each other?
we practiced the other day for the first time since we've been back from tour, but we've mainly been writing. But we've got something that we're doing here coming up in actually next week that we needed to practice for. So yeah, there'll be more stuff on that later.
And so with all the free time, and it seems like you guys have kind of enjoyed this like slow down, hit the brakes. Now we can focus on putting some new music and whatnot. Have you guys took advantage of this in writing? Has it creatively spun up new ideas, or has it kind of like hit a roadblock as some other bands have gotten?
No, it's kind of crazy. So our guitar player Titus and I, we've been in bands together for a long time, but we've kind of like had this like certain vision for like just kind of like what we wanted to represent as a band and as people, and how we wanted that to like come through. And it's we've been working towards that for every album has always been an effort to get closer to that. And it's always felt like maybe what we were saying just like wasn't happening at the right time. And I don't know, like just the way that the world has happened, it kind of feels like now the things that we've been saying are kind of like becoming more mainstream ideas just organically.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, nice. I mean, I'm glad people are like talking about some of these like social issues and stuff like that. Stuff we feel like we've been talking about for a while. And it's kind of like gone like, unnoticed or under the radar, or whatever it is. So yeah, I think we're just excited to get these new songs out and stuff that we've been working on that kind of unifies what we've been saying this whole time and kind of takes a new perspective with current events and stuff.
Oh, it's like it's you. I definitely say and you don't see this coming out of Texas. You see Texas as a conservative state and whatnot. Big bad Texas. But
Yeah,
bands like you and like Fire from the Gods, you know, they've been preaching this, they've been telling something, they've been showing issues in their music this whole time, and so now it's kind
for
of like
sure.
it's like, hey guys, we've been saying this for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Better late than never, though. You know, like for people to catch on. I'm glad. I'm glad all these things are becoming like mainstream. Maybe not like widely accepted, but at least widely talked about. You know, I think that's
Yeah,
just the important thing is that like certain things are just talked about. You know, not that everybody has to think the same way. Even.
yeah, and it's even how you brought up how you guys want to change and do something different with your music each time. You guys have 3 albums out right now, technically,
Mm,
um, and from excuse me, and 2 new singles, one in
yep.
2019, Middle Ground, and the newest one, Who Knew.
Hmm.
What's Who Knew about exactly that? For anyone else who didn't know, it came out earlier this year, kind of like right as
Yeah.
coronavirus happened. You're like, oh shit. So the lyrics are awesome. The music video is amazing as well. What's the meaning
Thank
behind
you. Well, first, shout out Ori. He shot that video. Dude crushes it. He's done like some other really good videos for like The World Live and Bad Omens. Few, you know, he does a ton of bands. He does a great job every time. So shout out to him for crushing the video. Um, the song though, lyrically, at first it kind of just started out as like, I guess like frustration in a way, because I feel like we've not, I don't want to like sound like ungrateful. I'm like thankful for the struggle, you know, like I'm glad that we've been a band that's had to grind and that we've kind of had to like, you know, fight for it a little bit. Cause I think it's made us appreciate it a lot more. And, but like, it gets frustrating. Like over the years, you know, you see some of your peers and stuff that maybe get like these like crazy huge opportunities or whatever, kind of just like handed to them on like a platter, and then they kind of like squander it, and you're like, and this could be in any field, not even just
Yeah,
music. You know, I feel like it's a common feeling to be like, man, like if I had that opportunity, like I know I would have like seized the day. Like I know I would have made so much more of it than maybe this other person would have. And it was just kind of like some feelings. We were all kind of feeling that way about just some other people and whatever. And yeah, and then along the way, it kind of turned into this thing where we were like, well, it just so happens that a lot of these people also seem to be the ones that are getting a lot of their music written for them, right? You know, not as authentic. So
yeah,
that's kind of like what the chorus is. You know, who knew you didn't write that song? It's like how many people were like complicit in like this like plant, basically this like industry plant that inevitably didn't work out. So,
kind of like that
and
band with Dennis Stoff. I forgot the name of it because he was originally with AA, and then he tried to form another band. Was it Down and Dirty?
yeah, it
And they were
was.
trying to make, and it was an industry band, and fell apart.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I've never listened to those songs, and I don't know him personally or anything like that. But I mean, I'm sure that is a great example. Who knows? Who knew?
And you guys write everything yourself, right? Like you guys all collectively kind of put it in and make the story yourself.
Yeah, so all the way up until just recently. Just recently, we brought in like a producer for the first time that came and worked with us on kind of some like arrangement things on some songs that we had already had going, and yeah, basically just kind of like fine combed through like what we considered our finished version, right? We just went back through and kind of combed through that and made some like edits and changed things up or whatever, took it to that next level. But yeah, that was our first time even experimenting with that. So yeah, these songs that are coming out next will be from that batch. But everything outside of that, yeah, has been completely 100% in house. So
And it's kind of it's gnarly to see how big Who Knew blew up. Like the views on YouTube and seeing the plays on Spotify, like
yeah,
that just took off. And I'm just like, fucking A. Like, cause you
yeah,
guys albums like Better Days and everything, you've had a following, but like Who Knew just shot through the roof.
yeah. It seems like just the way that Spotify works. It seems, you know, as long as you're consistent with putting out music and you know, obviously it's got to be to a certain quality. But as long as you're consistent in that quality and with the releases, it seems that, pretty much every time that you put something out, you'll at least get a little bit bigger, right? And
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it really comes down to word of mouth, which I think is something that a lot of bands overlook, and I think is something that we've kind of like spent a lot of time trying to cultivate. Is that like nothing beats telling a friend. That's how I got put onto music when I was a kid. Like, was by my friends just being like, "Yo, check out this band," and by my friends liking it first, just by human nature, you're gonna want to check that out. So, yeah, we always try and advocate for just telling your friends. That's the best way you could help.
Now, do you think, I mean, this digital age and Spotify, digital music, Apple Music, kind of like buying stuff, streaming services, that's fucking high, man. Do you think the marketing side for our band is better digitally on Instagram and Twitch channels everyone's doing, or is it still better organically?
Ooh, yeah. I think I think they're their own thing individually, but at the same time, like, you can't have one without the other, right? If your brand or whatever just exists as like a digital thing, then like your ads aren't cool, right? Or maybe your ads are like kind of cool, but maybe it doesn't translate all the way to real life. If people aren't like talking about it for real, then it's not anything. Just like if people are talking about it only in real life, but it's not on the internet, then it's like, well, does it really exist? Kind of like you got to have both. So, yeah. But I think first and foremost, the digital marketing for sure. Marketing is probably the most important to start.
It's. I think newer bands are they realize the importance of that, but they're also losing track of the physical marketing and the word of mouth and the showing up the shows, being at the meet and greets, putting out the merchandise, and they're too absorbed. Like, they're so dedicated buying those swipe up, putting on there, you pop up through storylines.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're only existing on the internet, but you're not, and at the end, this is just supposed to be a reflection of real life, right? A lot of people kind of, I think, take it for maybe a little more than that and forget that you actually, you got to show up, you got to be a part of the culture, and you just got to be involved.
Well, so going on that digital trend, as a musician yourself, and you're seeing like all these plugins, right? You got Fortin plugins, you got everything for the mixing and production side and recording.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think plugins are replacing the analog way of doing stuff for recording?
To be honest, I don't really know too much about recording. Maybe just a little bit. That's mainly our drummer Matt and our guitar player Titus. They do a lot of the recording. I will say that just in general, though, I think with a lot of stuff, I think digital is taking over. Like, we use an Axe-Fx. Titus uses an Axe-Fx Live, so we're not using like tube heads or cabs even. We can just come straight through the PA.
Yeah.
It's going to sound the same, at least at the front of house. The stage volume, obviously different story, but we also have in-ear monitors, so having the stage volume doesn't necessarily make it better for us. It's like better for it to be quiet up there. That way we can hear the ears better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for some people, doing the whole like raw and you just play through a tube head and a sick cab and you just play loud as shit, like, I think that's awesome. But for some people that just doesn't like work necessarily. So it's just kind of like preference, really.
And for everybody, for the in-ear monitors, it's kind of funny, like when you're out in the stands and sometimes at a show and you hear, like you said, stage volume and PA volume. When it goes out, everyone's like, "Oh my god, the music's out!" But the band's still playing because you guys are still hearing each other in the monitors.
Yeah.
Realize,
dude, that happened to us. God, what tour was this on? I guess this was on the last tour we did with Bad Omens and O Sleeper and Thousand Below. We were playing in Oklahoma, and I don't even remember what happened. I think the power went out or something. I don't know. Somehow we were still getting the shit in our ears, so we were playing, and it was right at the breakdown to the song "Same Stories," where it's like "Shut the fuck up." Yeah. Whenever it goes to that part, right when I said "up," the whole power went out, and it's just Matt playing the drums to that part, and it was fucking crazy. Yeah, it was embarrassing at first, but then I guess everybody was like, "Oh no, it sounded super sick." So
They're like, yeah, that's part of the show, bro. Sorry, we planned
yeah, I was like, "All right, yeah, I
that.
fuck with it."
I remember it happened again. Was with Wage War, and they went out. Same thing. Everything. It was raining though. That fucked up the whole system.
Oh
But
no.
his voice is so powerful. The one mic went off, you still can hear him. So it's still good to see that authentic voice. There's actually
Yeah, yeah.
in the singing.
Hell yeah.
But going back to you guys' music and stuff, 3 records, Better View, 2019, Insolent, 2018, and then is it I, or is it 3 for the first
3.
3? Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are rightfully put on as alternative metalcore, and whenever I talk about you guys and mention it to other people, I'm like, I always say like, oh, what do they sound like? I'm like, well, think of it as the best versions of Wage War and I Prevail together.
Okay.
Like the good versions of Clean with I Prevail, and I would say production and mixing wise, because they do have great post production with their music, but
yeah,
the breakdowns and heaviness of Wage War together.
Okay, I could see that.
And like I said, alternative metalcore, so that's a perfect way of blending it in there.
Yeah.
And on your guys' first album, that was like pretty deathcore, man. That was
that was a little different. So before, on that one, Titus wasn't in the band yet. Titus and I used to be in a band before Bloodline, right? And then I joined Bloodline, and I was in Bloodline for like a year, and that's when Matt and I did that EP. And then after that year, there were some people that weren't in the band anymore. And then I was like, yo, my boy Titus, like, he writes some dope ass songs. We should definitely bring him in. And he came in, and then we got to work right away. I think Matt and I had some songs that were already written for Insolent, but then Titus did about the other half of that. And then as time's gone on, he's kind of just like stepped up more and more as a writer.
And
Matt too, though, still does a lot.
How'd you guys decide to change directions and kind of like you can hear the change, obviously, but like it's a good change. How'd you guys decide that we're going to pivot to more having the clean vocals tie in with the heavier sound?
Yeah, Titus and I had we basically are just childhood friends. We've been knowing each other for like a really long time. Been playing music together for like 10 years, and only like half of that has been in Bloodline. So we had an idea with our old band for basically a sound kind of along the lines of what we sound like now that we were already trying to develop back then. And then we just knew like something was missing from that sound. And then Matt had been in this really heavy band back then that, we were like, oh, their heavy parts are so sick. And their band ended up kind of dissolving. And then, through Matt and I getting connected and then bringing Titus in, he was kind of like the missing link to the part that we were missing from our sound that we were developing already. Yeah. So then once we put his like heaviness with our like, kind of like new metal type sound, new metalcore kind of sound, they just like meshed like right off the bat. And then we've just been leaning into that ever since. We were, I guess, like a local kind of like super group, so to speak,
And then where'd the name come from, you guys? What did Bloodline itself, the name?
That was actually before I even joined. Matt and then this other guy that was in the band, they came up with it. And then he wasn't in the band anymore before I even joined. And then the name just stuck. And then we were like, yeah, that's dope. We were like, Bloodline? Hell yeah. That goes in. So, yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. It's a good history lesson for everybody to go on there and know a little bit about them.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, are you guys still currently signed with Stay Sick Recordings? Are you guys still with the other?
No. Yeah, that's we just had kind of like a small deal with them just to see how Better View would go, and like it went well and stuff. And then we did the 2 singles. Just kind of like feel it out and see like where things were going. But yeah, I think right now we're just kind of like, just kind of like seeing what's out there and, whatever's whatever. So
So were these two new singles, Middle Ground and Who Knew, are they independent? So right now they're unaffiliated, or Stay Sick still have them?
I think those are Stay Sick. Pretty
Okay.
sure the music videos are definitely on their YouTube at least. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
I would say
everything else afterwards is going to be your guys' if you own it,
yeah, unless yeah,
unless someone.
unless yeah, unless somebody else wants to, do some work together, and then we can talk business. But until then, it's all just DIY again. But even it's not really anything different for us because even with Stay Sick, it was like they were helpful with like music videos and stuff like that. And Mike Milford specifically has always been like a really big help to us. Um, but it was still like a lot of us like doing everything on our end. So it's just kind of like business as usual for us. It doesn't really feel any different.
So they didn't have any like creative input in what you were trying to do or anything like that.
Nah.
All right, that's good because some people
Yeah.
do that. Like a band I'm friends with, them Evils. They were with Louder Noise via Level
Okay.
7, and they had their hand in everything they were doing. They didn't like anything they were recording or mixing, even with producers and stuff they were working with. They sent them to. They didn't like it, and they were like, we're done. Like,
Yeah.
you're not letting us make our music.
Yeah. No, that's like super important to us, the creativity of it. Because I mean, if I can't make what I'm trying to make, then like, I'd rather just like I don't need to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I just do this because like I like doing it. And if it was something that I didn't like doing, then I would just fuck it. I'll go fucking do anything else.
So then it goes into a really good question. Do you think we're in a good time right now where there's a lot of independent bands that are big, and there's obviously big bands with big labels, big signings. But
Yeah.
where would you think? Do you think it's better to stay independent and own all the rights to your own music, do everything, hustle it, do it yourself, mixing whatever, or pay for someone to do it, or kind of make good music, send someone to mix it, and then label pick you up and do everything?
Yeah, I think DIY. But to me because to me it's not even like it's simpler than that. It's like, do I want to be better or do I not want to be better? Because spam call. You either do it yourself, you either do it yourself and learn how to do it, and you pick up the talent, and or you learn the skill, or you outsource it. And if you outsource it, you have to pay for it. So the more you outsource, then the more money you're spending.
More money.
Yeah, just simple business. So, like, but I do get the pull. Obviously we signed our deal. There was, at some point, like you still got bills to pay. You still got to be a regular person and all that. And funding these things can get really pricey, and having that little bit of extra help definitely helps. But I would say as much as you can DIY to DIY, and if you can do it all the way, and if people really fuck with what you're doing, then then be DIY all the way. And if you need that extra little boost, then maybe try and find a label. And if you do find a label, hopefully they're cool people and they're down to work out a cool deal with you. You never know. Everybody's different. That's probably the most important thing I've learned is just that like everybody's business is always different. And people can like tell you their stuff or whatever, but it's just kind of like a case by case thing.
Yeah, because some labels obviously have treated bands wrongly, and that's the reason why they own their music and do what.
Yeah.
And even myself, as I'm doing and messing around on Logic and stuff like that, I understand the meticulous part, and bands that are like, fuck, man, because you get so wrapped up in what you're doing that you keep, it never gets perfect, and so you kind of like need to hand it off to somebody else, otherwise it'll never get done.
Yeah. Yep.
So for Texas metal, Texas is known for metal music.
Oh yeah, dude.
Come on, you got Pantera, Rigor Mortis, Pawn and Burning Body, Cold Casket, Tulip. Texas metal has always been big. All right, of course you guys as well. But now it's kind of seems like each city's got its metal in it. What city brings the biggest metal? What is it? Houston, San Antonio,
Dallas, dude.
Dallas.
Oh, actually, hold on. Like the heaviest. I don't know. It's different. Dallas consistently, it has just the most consistency across the board. But Houston has like some heavy bands. Not many of them have like really gotten to like a big market or anything, but there's been some bands that have been like really heavy out of there. Specifically, off the top of my head, there's this band, Fane, that was from down there, and they were super sick. And then, oh man, there's another band. No, they're from San Antonio. I don't know, dude. Texas, it's hard. It's so hard to say. Texas is just like the best. Like, oh, Rex, dude. Yeah, who is this in here? They know.
Common, looks like.
Yeah, Rex was badass, dude. There's this other band though from San Antonio. I just can't remember their name, dude. And they're so good, and they're like still around, kind of. I feel like such a fucking jerk off. Nah.
No. Life Cycles? That's another one I know they're out of San Antonio.
Life Cycles, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, Life Cycles. That is my shit right there. That band fucking rips.
So
I saw them.
Xavier and all of them too, because they're at the casket and all that. Yeah, they're fucking sick.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, dude, where did I see them? Bloodline played some show at this venue called like the Cordova or something in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And then and then we saw them, and I was like, that was so heavy. What the fuck? That's crazy. And then I never saw anything about them ever again for like a while. And then their guitar player, I think, came up and was talking to me at the last show of the Siler tour that we did like 2 years ago.
It must have been Luis.
And yeah, I think so. Does he like really, really long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I'm this band Life Cycles." And I was like, "No way!" Like, yeah, crazy. So yeah, but Texas is on top, always, consistently.
I won't even lie, man, because I've been to shows. I've been to shows in Dallas once. I saw Hell Yeah. It was Hell Yeah. That's right. How did I fucking forget Hell Yeah? I put on the Texas band. Hell Yeah.
Yeah. I am. The list goes on.
And then San Antonio a bunch of times. It's hot as fuck in San Antonio, man. It's humid there.
I believe it.
I think it was last July. I was there with UABB, Upon a Burn Body. I was interviewing those guys for their hometown show. Holy fuck, man! Those Texas crowds, it was crazy in there. Like Texas fans bring it for every show.
Oh yeah, dude, Texas is crazy. It's like like the best way to describe it is like you get this high, right, in Texas from people moshing, because the way they mosh here is just off the rails, man. They go so hard. And then you like go like a little farther north, or you get towards like the New England area or whatever, or maybe like Atlanta or Florida or something like that, and it's just not the same. Like they still go hard, and you're like appreciative and all that, but you're like, damn, man, these people were just beating the shit out of each other last night in Texas.
Yeah, I agree, because when I went to River City, the festival they had out in San Antonio too, people were going fucking nuts there. And I was out in Kentucky for Louder Than Life last year, and people were actually respectful. Like, no one was pushing around. Like, am I at a metal festival here? Like, everyone's just standing around. So I see that. Yeah, it's still fun. That's been the weirdest part about just touring. I think like kind of the last two tours that we've done have been in like a more like, I don't want to say like soft market, but like just not as heavy as what we're used to. And getting used to people that like just kind of like stand around a little more, and like enjoy it just by listening. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, Texas is all about showing that you're liking it. Now, you guys been on good big tours, like with freaking Bad Omens and whatnot. You came out to California, like to where I'm at in Southern California, and I don't know what you got from your views from here and being out here on the West Coast, the South, and the East Coast and whatnot. I don't know. I just noticed personally that Midwest, South, even part of the East, fans and band, more importantly the artists, they're more authentic than a little bit of the West Coast bands, like the LA bands. Like West Coast bands are trying to play to get famous, as in, the South and Midwest bands are playing to play. not just to get famous.
Yeah, yeah. I could. I think it just depends. I think some people probably like go to LA for the right reasons. Like, you know, I mean, most people from LA aren't actually like from LA, you know.
Yeah.
So I think like most people probably go there, or not most. I think some people go there for the business and to be closer to the business and you know, just to be around the opportunity, which I totally get. But yeah, I do think what you're talking about, like as far as like just the attitude, I guess, towards the work of it all, I do think that there is something there for some bands. Yeah, especially I think it's not so much like a slight towards like California bands or maybe like that kind of like style or attitude,
Oh yeah,
as
no,
much as
I'm
it is
saying it.
like
I'm from California, and I see it.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually from California too, dude. I even though like we're a Texas band, I grew up in like San Diego and stuff. So
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
so you guys did the Soma show. That was the little home stomping grounds then.
Oh yeah, oh, on the Siler tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was my first time ever playing in my hometown. Yeah, which was pretty dope.
That's a dumb venue.
That venue, I was like, what is this place?
They have you offloading and loading on the side where everyone can see you and shit. The freaking walls are just like dirty and musty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was a little weird, but it was still fun. I want to go back. I was kind of bummed that we didn't get to play Chain Reaction. The tour got canceled before we got there for the Bad Omens tour, at least, which would have been fun. I was supposed to have some people come up from San Diego to come watch, but
And reaction.
COVID.
Local, man. OC local. That place has got history.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully they can reschedule that because when you walk in, you just see thousands of bands t-shirts from everyone who's played there plastered all over the wall. Original Papa Roach back in the day, everybody.
Oh yeah. I'm stoked, man. I used to watch like videos all the time of shows going down there, like when I was in high school and shit.
Ben's just popped up there. Everyone's played it. For an OC band, that's like a standout part.
Yeah.
But so how do you think that bands are how do you think we need to come out of this coronavirus situation for bands? How do you think it needs to happen? How do venues start doing this? Because venues are starting to go up for sale now.
Damn. I don't know. It's so hard to say, you know, like it's just like it's crazy. It's hard to even tell what's legit or what's not legit, like with the news and all that. So I don't know. I think I don't know. The main thing I think is like, man, if we just would have stayed like shut down for like 2 more weeks, this probably would not be as bad as it is right now. Which is, you know, what was that, Memorial Day weekend, I think?
Yeah.
It's like, man, if we would have maybe stayed closed all the way through Memorial Day weekend, maybe this wouldn't be the way it is. Or like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to even know what to make of any of it, but hopefully it all comes back soon. That would be super awesome. But also hopefully it comes back responsibly, and that way it can come back to its full potential. Because I think my biggest worry with it all is that it goes down, right? Or there's like you know, just like a decrease in everything. And then let's say they do open up touring again and we all go out and then we're playing a show in Dallas or something. And then you have some shows that are happening in Florida and Atlanta after that. But then before you even get to Florida, whatever county shuts down because there was a COVID flare up. Well, then you're like, damn, well, now I have a day off that I wasn't planning for. And then what happens when a few of those days off happen in a row because of COVID? And then now, before you know it, you have a whole week of shows in the middle of your tour that's just off that you can't do anything about. So that's more like where my head's at, is like, I want it to come back, but not too soon, because I would hate for it to come back prematurely. And then it ended up like screwing us like in the long run.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of bands that were stuck in the middle of nowhere just because that happened right when the shutdowns happened. They were in the middle of their tour.
Yeah.
Shit.
Dude, our buddies in Unity, they had just landed in Germany to do a tour over there with D's Nuts and I don't remember who else. But yeah, I think they had just landed or like played like one show maybe before they had to fly back home, leave all their gear, leave like all their merch. I mean, what a nightmare, you know?
Dang. And it's like there was 2 festivals that were supposed to happen. Well, one hasn't even admitted they're going to cancel yet. One did. Thankfully, they did. It was the only rock festival left this year. It was out in Virginia, the Blue Ridge Rock Festival, and it had like Motionless in White, Black Label Society. Like they picked up all the bands, and then finally they released a statement: we're canceling it like 2 months out. Like, dude, there's no way you can have a festival right now. No way.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Some counties are
Nobody's
pretty safe.
trying to book anything.
I think that like some cities are actually they've had shows, but they've been doing it as a tabletop format. No moshing, no nothing. You have tabletop, wearing masks and whatnot, and it's all separated. And it may have to come to that at first. And would you guys want to do a show with like a tabletop thing? Not like traditional moshing, you can't push around, but everyone has to sit at a table and they have to stay there.
I think more our style would be to we'd probably find some way to do some kind of like digital interactive type deal. I think that would probably be more our just more up our alley and something that we'd have a little more fun with. Because yeah, we don't want to like just set up to. That would just feel too much like practice to us. Like we have to make it more challenging than that. So yeah, I think we'd probably just do some kind of digital show. Speaking of which, the Under Oath show is tonight.
I saw that. I'm gonna be watching that.
Me too. Lost in the Sound of Separation, dude. Up first.
Dude, I have nothing but great expectations for them to put up a great I think Code Orange.
Oh yeah.
I think they set the standards how bands should do a live show, recorded and streaming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we saw that and we were like, damn, we could do something like that too. We started having ideas already. We were like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I think we're probably gonna. By the time this is all over, we'll probably have some kind of thing like that. I don't know how we're gonna do it yet, but we're gonna try.
As long as you're not doing it like every week. There's some bands that are doing every week, and it's kind of like sometimes their sound quality is bad as they're doing it live. Like you gotta, that's a little excessive. Make a great, one great one for your fans or whatnot. And honestly, I'm really for, there's bands like Slaves. They're renting out Whiskey A Go Go to do their show, and there are people. It's like $10 for a digital ticket to watch and stream online. I'm for that. I will pay $10 to watch you guys online to help support and whatnot because you guys need it too. You're musicians. It's like remember it's a business. Yeah.
We would definitely do some kind of we've got some merch designs we're sitting on right now, so it'd probably be a whole thing that we would do. Probably pretty similar to this Under Oath thing. We'll see how they end up doing theirs, but yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult to pull off. I don't think. We all have or not all of us. A few of us have streaming software already set up, and then we have access to a couple of places that have also some setups for live streaming with a decent sized stage. So, it wouldn't be. It's not going to be too horribly hard.
I mean, if anything comes worse comes to worse, OnlyFans, man.
Dude, for the band. Yes.
Bloodline OnlyFans. Come on now.
How sick would that be? I guess that'd be more like a Patreon. But yeah.
Hey, you'll get some people buying some stuff, don't worry.
Yeah. Sell unreleased tracks.
One girl I do appreciate, she's out in Nashville, Jenny Teeter. And something she did cool with her fans was she did $1 a song, and she gave out people unreleased tracks for $1.
Oh yeah,
on stuff she unreleased or acoustic versions of stuff, just straight to the fans. So that's a cool idea, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always liked the Linkin Park Underground.
See, look, someone will subscribe to your OnlyFans right there.
Oh man, we'll make the subscription rate $1,000 a month. Yeah, but Linkin Park Underground, that was always my shit. I remember when I got my first Linkin Park album, get the little cutout on the inside that's mail this in if you want to be part of the LPU. Sent all that in, get all the unreleased tracks and stuff. So and they also were doing like videos for their stuff. So yeah, you know, we'll see. We'll one step at a time. You know, let's see how these next few songs go. Let's see. Let's see if we can start retaining, you know, some attention and stuff like that, and maybe we can get some of these other ideas rolling.
Well, I don't doubt it. You guys all are creative, and you have that shows in the music and the artwork of your merch and stuff like that. So I don't doubt with like you guys gonna come up with something really unique for your fans, and everyone's just gonna fucking eat it up.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, hopefully that's how it goes down. I feel pretty confident though. These new songs are pretty. They're not even pretty good. They're fucking banging. So.
Well, dude, I look forward to hearing it, man. Fuck it, I look forward to whenever the fuck we can get shows again, man. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully it's soon.
Yeah, people, wear your fucking mask. Come on, this works for the fucking show at least, man. Let's do it. Let's bring back shows. I know you hate it, but we want shows back, all right? We want it back. But dude, thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you so much for your Friday afternoon, evening, whatever. I don't know if you're going to be pounding beers later and getting blacked out, maybe putting up that OnlyFans account.
Nah, dude, I'm just going to be freaking jamming out to that Under Oath concert.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll be there too, watching it as well. I'm a big Under Oath fan. Since I was excited I remember when they first came back after all their first show, Self Help Fest. That's when they announced they were back.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So those guys are underrated. So hopefully anybody else can be there. We'll all be watching as well. But I will have this all edited as well. Put it on YouTube probably by Monday, so it's all nice and split and pretty. And I'll have links to their YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff, Instagram, their new OnlyFans account, and click on it and whatnot. So, and listen to their new singles they've released, all right? And keep rocking them. And I'm sure we can't wait to hear the new music, and we're going to be fucking bumping that too, man.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you having me.
Thank you, dude. And until the rest, guys, stay safe. Thank you for their time as well. Even though they can't be here, it's cool. Have a great weekend, man. Stay safe, brother.
You too, dude.
And thank you for everybody watching. Everyone stay safe, too. Wear your mask. Thanks, brother.